What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is Get Real with Shameeza, and I'm your host, Shameeza Ali. It is truly a pleasure being here with you this evening. Good evening to everyone joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and on Island Zone Radio. Good evening to everyone. Our guests tonight are both come from humble beginnings. They've worked hard and they never gave up on themselves or their dreams. Do you have the courage to be them? Well, first, before you meet our guest tonight, we have a giveaway. And our giveaway tonight is compliments of Badesi Caribbean food specialists serving our community for over 40 years. It's a winter box filled with goodies to make your winter a little bit more festive. Now, here's your chance. Last week, we spoke to Ariana Takrudin. What career is she currently pursuing in college? The question again. Last week, we spoke to Ariana Takrudin. What career is she currently pursuing in college? While you answer that, share the live. Here is a message for you.
Flamingo Restaurant and Mantra Lounge. We are NYC's premier Caribbean restaurant and lounge, specializing in authentic West Indian, Chinese, and Caribbean cuisine. Open every day for lunch and late nights. For delivery, find us on Uber Eats, Grubhub, Seamless, and DoorDash. Visit our rooftop lounge upstairs on the weekends for a fun-filled night. We cater and take bookings for private events. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Flamingo Mantra. Our address is 120-06 Rockaway Boulevard, telephone 7188351000.
The Guyana Babu's 30th Anniversary Gala, Saturday, November 9th at the elegant Golden Terrace Banquet Hall on Atlantic Avenue, Queens, New York. Featuring the Angels Caribbean Band, Live Tassa, breathtaking Bollywood dancers, steel band, top DJs, surprise guest performance, and of course, the music of Terry G. Classy event, so dress your best to impress. Elegant evening wear is mandatory. Tickets start only at $100 all inclusive. Special $500 VVIP tickets are already sold out and only a few VIP tickets remaining, so get yours now. Your all-inclusive ticket includes free VIP valet parking, unlimited cocktails, unlimited drinks, appetizers, dinner, desserts, free giveaways, and much more. For more info, call 860-918-4975 and see you at the Guyana Babu's 30th Anniversary Gala, Saturday, November 9th.
Oh, Bangali Babu. Oh, Bangali Babu.
He is the minister within the Ministry of Public Works. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Minister Deodat Indar.
Hi, good night.
Good evening
Thank
and
you.
welcome back to Get Real with Shameeza. How are you this evening?
I'm all right. I kind of like the intro videos.
You like the intro
Yes,
videos? So
nice.
those are ads of businesses here in Queens. You might have known the famous Terry Gadrach from
Yeah,
Guyana.
met him
He is
many
having
times.
a concert here in New York, and it's going to be incredible this weekend. I think he's taking it to Guyana and other countries as well. So it's exciting.
Yeah, he's a nice guy too. I always like him.
Yes, very humble guy. Just like yourself, and like in the intro that I said about you, you came from very humble beginning. Minister, can you, and I know you've been here and you've told us your story, right? But there are people who are probably watching tonight and didn't hear that story. Can you brief us about your early days growing up on the west coast of Demerara? It's a place that's dear to me because that's where I grew up as well. And we have many viewers who are from the west coast of Demerara. So just tell us a little bit about, your upbringing and who you really are.
Well, How long is this show again?
Listen, we'll take the time. We'll take the time. We can listen.
Just a 30,000 view synopsis. I was born and raised in New Road in Hoop, and that is in Region 3 of Guyana for those folks who know the area. Um, so there's a place called Coca-Cola Yard, and that is in New Road, but it had about 11 houses on a single lot. So we were at the back, the second to last house on the land. We were there in a big family. My mother had 10 kids, and I am the second to last of those 10. So I have a younger brother who, well, uh, he still lives in Guyana, but grew up relatively in very simple life, humble life. Um, and I went to school at Hoop, and then I went to St. Stanislaus College, and I ended up in a track in finance and business and economics in the private sector, which I spent about 2 decades. And then I don't know how my foot ended up into a pathway into politics. And in 2019, 2020 time, I ended up with the People's Progressive Party ticket and was a candidate on their list. And today I serve the people of Guyana in the Ministry of Public Works. So that is a 30,000 foot view of, you know,
Of how it simply happened, right? Coming from the beginnings that you come and where you are today, was this really your dream to be where you are today? Did you ever see yourself here? Is this one of the things that you wished
not at
before
all,
you were younger?
not at all, not at all. Actually, when I was growing up, I thought I would have become a rock star. I like
Yes.
rock, yes, I like rock and roll music. My hair was long till here. I used to have a lot of friends who used to sing rock and roll, and steering at this, you're singing at the steering wheel of the car, and you at the rock parties, and that was the life growing up. Never
Yeah.
thought I would have been a business executive. I end up in that area of life where I was executive at Sterling for many years, about 18 years, and I served in other leadership position in the private sector too. I was president of the Chamber of Commerce and vice chairman of the Private Sector Commission. I was the president of the Institute of Internal Auditors, and we did a lot of wonderful things in that profession. I held a lot of positions across NGOs and the business support organizations. So I end up in that track, and I guess there was a natural progression to dealing at a policy level in government and advocacy that you would want to see things get done to. So there was no way that I thought I would have end up in politics or in government. I was a private sector man all my life, and I thought my life would have gone in a different direction.
But you're here, right?
Yeah,
And speaking of rock and roll, right? I did have a photo of you when and as a matter of fact, no, we're not gonna do that to you. I was gonna show that photo up here, but I was like, no, we can't do that to Minister Indar right now,
yeah.
Maybe next time you're
I
on, we'll
didn't
do.
have this short here, and
Yeah.
this is not wasn't nothing that I remember looking like.
But you know what? I think all of us as young people, we have dreams that we feel that's what you're feeling at the moment, and we grow up, and we
And then
become
life
different things.
happens. And then life
Exactly.
happens.
Life happens. We have to, whether it meant paying the bills or it meant having a career that can take you, into retirement and can be a little bit more, realistic, whatever it is. We grow up, we live, we learn, and we do what we think is best, right? Uh,
Correct. Yeah.
Now, your role as minister within the Ministry of Public Works is a crucial role for the PPP government and the people of Guyana. What you do is I will say it's one of the toughest things to do in Guyana right now when it comes to infrastructure and all the developments that's going on in Guyana. I would think your job is one of the toughest ones out there. Would you
Yeah.
agree with that?
Well, I don't know. I feel it in my fingers and bones, but I don't complain.
You don't complain. You
Yeah, I
go
don't
out.
complain.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
see you're in Wakenham. you're in Bat Settlement, you're all over the place and you go out. You're more one of those hands on. You're out in the field. You're not necessarily in the office sitting and just, sending things and dictating what gets done. You just go out and you make sure that what's supposed to be done or who is supposed to be doing it is doing it. That's what I see with you.
Well, coming from a background of finance, economics, business, and those things, going into a ministry where you're dealing with engineers, you're dealing with roads, bridges, and I also have some responsibility in the office of the Prime Minister in the energy sector to deal with the power companies and energy companies and so on, all of the interland electrification and so that also forms part of my responsibility. So dealing with engineers um, from all different walks, like whether it's civil and electronic engineers, whether it's electrical engineers, whether it's instrumentation people. Um, at first, it was you had to really read a lot to get your hands on what is before you. Um, One of the things that I found that was very helpful is physical inspection. So when you're on
Right.
the ground, you get a different understanding of the project, and in that way, you understand everything else about the project. Once you on the ground and see it, understand how it works, and that goes for everything else across the sectors that I have some responsibilities for, and that helped a lot to make sure that you push the agenda because the agenda for Guyana is really transforming the country, making
Mhm.
the lives of Guyanese people better, making sure that the folks are happy to be, in Guyana, come back to Guyana, to live in Guyana, to stay in Guyana, because our country in the past, went through a place where we leave in droves and we don't come back.
Yeah.
So who is it left to build the country? We have all these resources now that are available to us, and as the years go out in the outer years, we'll have more resources come in. But we need the hands to build the country. Who is it?
Definitely.
Everybody leaves. If all the skilled person leave, all of those who are, have their heart and soul in the country, if they do leave for betterment, who will build it? Now, the folks that are here and still working to transform the country, I can tell you that if anybody with an honest view come and look at the country from whence it was when we took government in 2020 to now, is like, is mind-boggling to see all of this work happen in such a short period of time, crammed into such a short period of time, and the volume of the projects, it's a lot.
It
For
is.
example, my ministry in 2023, at the end of the year, when we check it up, we had about 4,000 projects we managed. That just in public works. Then I have added responsibility in the energy sector with Prime
Right.
Minister Mark Phillips. That that is a whole story by itself too, with the the transformation in the energy sector that we're having gas to energy. We are remodeling and reformatting and re-engineering, restructuring the whole apparatus in terms of the transmission and distribution of the country of the power. So we are doing all of that. We are doing a lot of work on renewable energies in the hinterland. We have over 200 plus 240 plus villages that we have put in you know these off grid solutions to people so they can get power. And
Very
we're
good.
doing a lot. We're doing a lot throughout the country, in every village, in every county, in every part of the country. You're seeing some form of
There's
government
progress.
work happening in the community, so people can feel it and they can see it and feel it.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. I mean, I was in Ghana in 2021. I remember meeting with you while I was there, and I was there again a few months ago, and I saw you briefly, but I can attest to the development and the progress that's happening in Guyana. I've witnessed it going from 2021 to 2024. I mean, every year I've been visiting, but to just be there and enjoy Guyana and to visit different places and see what's going on, it's truly, truly inspiring to watch the progress. And I know I know the PPP government is working hard, right? And they're doing everything possible. It's a short period of time to do all the things that they're doing, and I'm very proud to see the work that's being done. Speaking of the PPP, we have elections coming up next year for the PPP government. And we just had elections here in the USA yesterday. And our people here, especially here in New York, they're very quiet today. It was, I don't know if it was a shock, if people are surprised. There is so much different emotions. I mean, I stayed up and I watched the entire thing as went down last night. And there's a lot of emotions that we feel, but people were just frustrated. What is your party? What is the PPP government doing right now to make sure come 2025, you guys are in line, your people have the right messages, and your party is doing everything possible to go out there and win that election?
Well, for me, I can say for me that I have never come out of election mode. When we
Right.
came into government in 2020, we worked like if the next day was election. And I think that happened for every other member of our government, including and led by our president and the vice president. So we have always on the ground, we have always been in villages, in communities. I've never seen a minister. Some of them communities that we went to, they say, we have never had a minister visited. Some of them, they've never seen a president visited or the vice president come to their community. But what we've been doing in the past couple of years is just ramping up that on the ground, making sure that you don't lose touch with the wants and the needs of the people that voted and put you there.
I
So we
agree.
so we have been there all the time, and we have been crafting um, policies, and we have been putting allocation of resources in the budget to meet those requests that you would have get on the ground. Now, when we came into government, there were some promises that the parties made in the manifesto to the people. We have actually fulfilled the majority of them, right? Already, we are now going into things that not even in the manifesto. But as you go on the ground, and life is changing all the time, expectations are changing all the time. You pick up different things that are happening on the ground, so you have to deal with them. And
Right.
yeah, we've been dealing with those. If you see, if you track what happens in Guyana, you will find a lot of time the president will take the office of the president into a region. So people will come into the region. So they'll have to go to Georgetown in the office of the president where they have security guards, or the president comes out into the region. And then he will have a group of ministers around him and a team from office of the president, and we go spend an entire day. Sometime the last time I was in Region 3, we spent 3 days here, and then it goes out to Region 6, Region 5, and like that. The vice president goes out, ministers goes out in their sector to go out into the communities and make sure they meet with people that are in their sector to make sure you always have that connection. You see, when if you lose that connection, then you really can't govern, effectively, because you'll be
Yeah.
making policies in one direction, and then the people's problem is in another direction. In management, you call it strategic drift. Is when the
Yeah.
solution that you're deriving is going that direction, and the problems
And
is
what
somewhere
is
over
good?
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what we are doing, we're making sure that we have a hands-on approach. We're talking to people, we're listening to people. There are a number of outreach. There's outreaches happening all the time, so you always have a feel of what is bothering people, and how is it you're addressing it. And I think that is something that will pay dividends in my view, because if you if someone comes to you with an issue and you manage to deal with the matter, well, then that is how you govern. You respond to a need of a
And
particular person. If the
right.
community has a community problem and you respond to the community's problem, well, then that is how you govern. That is what people send you in government to do, to respond
Exactly.
to things that will better their lives, right?
Exactly.
So that is what we've been doing. So come 2025, we don't want to leave any stone unturned. We don't want to also believe that we are doing a fantastic job and strain yourself, patting your arm on the back. We don't do
Right.
that. We continue to engage. We continue to be on the ground, and we do multiple cycles of it. So in case we miss something, when you come back the next cycle, it picks up again. Like that.
Yeah. I like that you said that you treat every day like you're running. You're still, like tomorrow's election. That to me is important, right? Because you get in there, you get comfortable, and you feel like you've won the people's vote, and now you can just relax, and they put you there so you can just and can come the next
Relax,
election. You expect to just, and I think
Shameeza, relax. I don't
Yeah,
think that's in our vocabulary. Relax is not one. I can tell you, Guyana as a country, as a young republic, we haven't had the resources in the past to deal with a transformative agenda because you need resources to get a transformative agenda. So as the resources are coming and available, you have the transformation happening and unfolding in various sectors with different things happening in various economic sectors.
right.
So because we are a young republic and a lot of countries have already developed a long time ago, their assets are already aging, they're not renewing their assets, whether it's a railway, whether it's a bridge, whether it's new highways, those things were built already by them, gotten old, they're now renewing them. We are
Yeah,
now at a point where we now have to build these things up. So because
yeah,
we are a young republic, we started late. Other countries had an advantage all along. We now had to run all the time to get it done quickly because we are late in the game. We have to pay
yeah,
catch up, you know?
yeah. And speaking of bridges and all of these infrastructure, traffic congestion has been a major issue, especially during the morning and afternoon after work. Will the new bridge help to solve this problem? And are there any other projects in place to address the congestion issues short term?
So I can tell you immediately at the Demerara Harbor Bridge, when we opened the highway, the connector from the Harbor Bridge with a new roundabout there, we took it to a place called Schoonard, and then from Schoonard to the community of Crane. We bypassed a lot of traffic congestion that normally happens coming through the Vredenhoek area, going to the Harbor Bridge. This is in the Region 3 area.
Right.
So by putting that in already, we have seen a massive, massive reduction in the traffic. Now, with the new Harbor Bridge that will be there, it will now take the traffic straight over to the on the on through Nandi Park, heading straight into the Heroes Highway, and then it will dissipate there. When it comes over into Region 3, it will hook up to that same highway system with those roundabouts, so it will dissipate quickly. But bringing traffic into Georgetown, we actually close to developing 12 lanes to bring the traffic into Georgetown and out of Georgetown, right?
12
Because we
lane.
have 12 lanes. That is
Wow.
the intention, right? So,
Yes.
yes. So, because we're connecting the road, it's going to finish in another few months too. The one from Ogle to connect to Eccles is going to hook up on the Heroes Highway at Eccles as well, right? And then we're building from the Heroes Highway. We are connecting that. There's a road there by where Windsor Estate is.
Right.
We're broadening that into 4 lane too, and we're building a number of the connector roads. We're widening them and so. So, a person driving in that community, because the expansion in that area, in the Providence area, Farm, and the East Bank corridor, the area is densely populated with new houses, new businesses, and so. So, I have a lot of traffic there. And the Diamond area come back.
Yeah.
So because you have a lot of cross street and drivers will have different alternatives, they can move around and catch different, you catch different inroads into the city and as well as coming out. So when the bridge is finished, well, the deadline is March of 2025. We've given them. I saw that they brought in some construction trees to do the high span and so right now, as you can see,
Yeah.
the piers are going up. There's 62 piers on that bridge. Most of them gone up. There are a couple of them yet to be constructed, where there's some houses there that the folks them need to where we need to get them out of there because that's the right way for the bridge. Once that is done, the bridge will be fully constructed and a runoff is already contracted to be built. So that bridge is a critical asset to join Region 3 and 4. What it also does is open the harbor too. So, large ships can come um, under the bridge now. The current situation, we got to open with tide. And so now we will come, um, the handy max size vessels can go under there because between the base of the river to the bottom of the bridge is like 50 meters, which is very, very high for vessels to go through.
Wow.
So that will open the harbor at the back of the bridge. All the lands at the back of the bridge now will become, very good commercial prospects. So it
Yeah.
doesn't, right now, it's only the ones at the front of the bridge have good commercial prospects because of the bridge closure. That will no
Right.
longer be the case when when this new one comes on board.
Wow, and I'm excited. I hopefully will be there next year, and I'm sure a lot of what you're saying I'll probably be able to see. But in the coming years, we as Guyanese, we want to go back to our country. We want to be able to enjoy these things, and knowing that there are plans in place really makes you feel good about your country, about the people, and everything else. Let's talk a little bit about accidents. Accidents continue to be a major problem on the road, threatening the safety of drivers and pedestrians. What measures can be taken to address the issue?
So it depends on where these accidents are happening. So on the main access roads, normally you don't put speed humps on those main access roads,
Right.
but there are speed limits and there's enforcement by the police. Now it's all come down also to the driver. If you know you're responsible for your life and people's life in your car, your family, your friends, and so you need to drive responsibly. You
Yeah, I
know,
agree.
and most times when accidents happen, some form of speeding is involved, some kind of drinking and driving is involved, and you have that. Very seldomly you'll find persons tired, too tired, and they
Yeah.
sleep on the wheels and so on.
Which is
So
sometimes what happened here in the
yeah,
US.
so although laws are made to fix mischiefs in society, if the
Yeah,
mischief so if you should not kill, there's a law that tell you if you do that you're going to get punished, you'd either go to jail and so on. Similar laws are there for drivers, but yet folks won't break the law. So it is really, society needs to conduct, themselves when they're driving on the road. You were trained to drive in a particular way where you have to be cautious on the road. You got to be careful. You got to, be concerned with other drivers and so on. So a driver also needs to inculcate a culture of, safety too. So
yeah,
although you have enforcement with the police and all of the traffic stuff and so all of the lights and so that would regular regulate traffic. At the same time, it is responsibility of drivers too. So you do have accidents. You have accidents on the road, um, on the main access roads and so on. But I think that the responsibility is twofold
I
in that
agree.
regard.
Yeah. I want to take this comment from Mohammed Asgar. He says, "Great and congratulations, Honorable Minister uh, Kevin Indar." Kevin,
I don't know, maybe mistype.
yeah, in the PPP government, you're doing a great job. So thank you for that comment. Please ask any questions that you have. We will play a little game with Minister. So here we go. The game is called 6 in 60. Basically, I'll ask you 6 questions in 60 seconds. And wait, let me find my little thingy right here. So this is my little thing that we're gonna wait until everything. When I turn it over, the questions will start, and then your time starts. Right. So this is our
Six
60 seconds.
60 seconds.
So I'll read the first question. You ready, Minister?
Ready? Let's go.
Okay. Host an event or sing karaoke at the event?
Singing karaoke event.
Host an event or sing karaoke?
Sing karaoke.
Sing karaoke. What would you sing?
Maybe a Bon Jovi or something. I don't know.
Oh, great. Your favorite fruit?
Mangoes,
Mango. I love mangoes. Rice or roti?
rice.
Which is more important to you, being politically correct or doing it correctly?
Doing it correctly. Doing it correctly. I think I answered that one.
Okay. I didn't hear that one, but name of a country that begins with the letter D.
Dominican Republic.
Very good. Uh, text or email.
Text.
And which is the better rock band, Rolling Stones or Fleetwood Mac?
Well, I hope nobody kills me, but I am a lover of Fleetwood Mac.
There we go. You had a couple of seconds, so good job. And
Thank you.
Minister, before you leave us, I don't see any questions right now. I do see we have someone, Patricia Lee is asking. She said for 20 years she's applied for a land in Linden, and she needs some update or something in regards to that. Patricia Lee, if you can send me your information, I'll get it forward to the ministry. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And Minister, please, before you leave us this evening, please give us your final words to the viewers tonight. What is your words to us before you leave?
Well, I think that the election season is coming up, and when election season comes up, there's like a fever that goes around Guyana. I guess it's same for elsewhere too.
Yeah,
Um, but I think that we need to concentrate on some of the positives rather than injecting that dose of venom into our veins about all the negativity um, in the country. If we have a lot of folks, they thrive on that, they live on that. That gets them high. Um, so I believe that we can, focus on a lot of the positives while recognizing that there's a lot of work to get done. I think if you look at the model of other countries, they weren't built in a day; they were built over a cycle, a period of booming and transformation. I see that in Guyana now; it's unfolding before our eyes. Guyana is now the fastest growing economy in the world, and has been so for a number of years, and is expected to grow similarly in a few years out too. So it's a time for us to have pride that we are part of this this unfolding of this country, and that the country is being developed and the work and the transformation is being done at breakneck speed, and we should highlight some of those to the
great.
people in the world. Yeah, because still, still you go out to get, you go out into the world, and you still hear folks remembering the old days, and they were, badmouth the country, and so so we need to be good ambassadors for Guyana, and the brand of Guyana. We need to make sure that the brand is kept good and alive, and people don't bash it too much, because there are those who believe they can, the country that raised you and fed you.
Yeah,
A lot of folks, they badmouth it, and we should change our attitude. I think a more positive mindset on that would be a
I
good thing for all of us.
I agree. And,
Yes.
speaking of ambassadors, I'm available to be an ambassador. If you guys do need one, I am here. I'm available. I always highlight the goods when I'm there, visit the different places and highlight what is happening in Guyana. So after my visits, usually a lot of people are like, when are you going back? We need to go with you
Yeah.
because you seem to just know the good places.
Yeah,
But
but the cricket and the CPL is, what it has done is bring back a lot of Guyanese, and
mhm,
they had a chance to see the Guyana today, and I think a lot of them, really like what they're seeing. And I find that when we started the CPL, a few years ago, a lot of people, they came back. They were repeat travelers. We saw a lot of folks come back, and the remark and the feedback is that they like what they're seeing, they like the vibe, they like the the upbeat nature of the country, and they
yeah.
like what they're seeing. The transformation is right there.
Perfect. Well, keep up the good work. We're very proud of your administration, what it's doing. Before you go, I do see a comment that came in, and this is from Mohammed Akbar. He says he tried to make an appointment to see you, and your secretary was asking why I wanted to see him. After I told her regarding what, she became rude. I will, if you can send me your information, I will definitely forward it to the minister,
Mhm.
and we can definitely take it from there.
Well, I have some staff in the secretariat, and I doubt they're rude, but whatever it is, maybe he can come on Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah, he can come on Friday. Yeah.
Muhammad Akbar, please visit the minister on Friday at his office, and he will take a look at whatever it is that it's in regards to. I thank you for your time, and I wish you the
Yeah.
best.
What you can
And I
do for
look
me is, when the show is finished, if you can get the number to you, and I'll try and see if I call him or something.
reach out. All right. So if the people who had comments that needed to get in touch with the minister, please message me and I will get your contact information to him. All right. Thank you so much
Thank
and
you for
have a
having me.
pleasant evening.
You too. Thank you for having
Take care. Bye bye.
me. Bye.
And we'll be right back with Joshua Dat, everyone. Stay tuned. Please share the live.
Flamingo Restaurant and Mantra Lounge. We are NYC's premier Caribbean restaurant and lounge, specializing in authentic West Indian Chinese and Caribbean cuisine. Open every day for lunch and late nights. For delivery, find us on Uber Eats, Grubhub, Seamless and DoorDash. Visit our rooftop lounge upstairs on the weekends for a fun-filled night. We cater and take bookings for private events. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Flamingo Mantra. Our address is 120-06 Rockaway Boulevard, telephone 7188351000.
Don't miss the Guyana Babu's 30th Anniversary Gala, Saturday, November 9th at the elegant Golden Terrace Banquet Hall on Atlantic Avenue, Queens, New York. Featuring the Angels Caribbean Band, live Tassa, breathtaking Bollywood dancers, steel band, top DJs, surprise guest performers, and of course, the music of Terry G. It's a classy event, so dress your best to impress. Elegant evening wear is mandatory. Tickets start only at $100 all inclusive. Special $500 VVIP tickets are already sold out and only a few VIP tickets remaining, so get yours now. Your all-inclusive ticket includes free VIP valet parking, unlimited cocktails, unlimited drinks, appetizers, dinner, desserts, free giveaways, and much more. For more info, call 860-918-4975 and see you at the Guyana Babu's 30th Anniversary Gala, Saturday, November 9th.
Oh Bangali Babu, oh Bangali Babu.
All right, we are back with Joshua Dat from Datz Deli. Welcome, Joshua.
Thank you for having me, Shameeza.
It's a pleasure. How are you?
I'm very tired.
Well, we've seen you in the news and the media now for over a year, I would say, right? And you've been making news throughout New York City, right? With your deli, your mac patty. So welcome to the show. I know you're tired. You were working all day and you took your time to be here with us to do this interview. And I really, really appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because there's so many people that's really trying to figure out who is Joshua Dat.
So, I'm from New York, Jamaica, Queens to be exact, Queens. I'm 32 years old. Guyanese. My mom and dad is from Guyana. I never went there. I really want to go. I'm planning on going out there soon.
Mhm.
But I love the culture. That's why, in the deli colors, I made sure people know it's a Guyanese deli. I
Right.
make sure I push the culture as much as I can. Because, I love where my family's from. My dad talks about it. He hasn't been there since he was like 8, but he talks about it like he loves it. Like it's the greatest thing in the world. And he hasn't been there since he was 8. But, I'm excited to go. I'm excited to take him back. So,
So you haven't visited Guyana.
never went to Guyana.
You never went to Guyana, and I hope it's in the plans to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely.
As you saw, our minister of ministry within public works was on, a great minister. And like he was saying, Guyana has seen so many changes, so much development. It will be a good time to go back. And I can tell you when is the best time to go.
When?
During the cricket next year.
Okay.
We're playing the final CPL Cup in Guyana, and that's when you should be going, because that's when I will be going.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll see what's up.
I'll send you all the details.
Okay.
But your family, your mom is from Guyana as well. I'm
Yeah,
assuming?
my mom's from Guyana. My mom's from Georgetown area, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad, he says let's just say he's from West Coast because he always says he's from all over.
Oh,
So
so we'll just blame it on West Coast.
yeah,
We'll say, hey, he's from
yeah.
West Coast.
At 8 years old, he's from all over. You know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, no?
Yeah, like he say he travel all over. Like he loved Guyana so much, but that's why I end up loving Guyana so much growing
Right,
up. And
because
I'm not even from there. You know how much my father speaks about it.
can you imagine your dad spent 8 years of his life there, right? His first 8 years. And at 8 years, my son upstairs is 8. He'll be 9 in a few weeks. And I can tell you, he probably, we leave the US right now at, probably your dad is in his 50s,
Yeah,
40s, 50s.
yeah.
So he probably wouldn't have much memory. Your dad still can have so much to tell you guys that you built a business. You have the colors of Guyana. So that tells you how much he loves this country.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like over there, he tells me all the time. Like over there, at 8 years old, you're like a grown man. You there working every day with your mom. You know, he used to tell me all the time. I used to be at the market with my grandma, barter market or whatever it's called. See, I've never been there, but
Yeah.
you know, he used to be there selling with my grandma all the time. So, you know, he just always tells me the stories and he tells me how life is so much different compared to over here.
Yeah. And I think that right there had your dad probably, it sounds like he had a tough childhood,
Yeah,
right? Working
yeah.
hard, right? And that probably inspired him to keep working and to do his best here and raise you guys in that same manner that you uh, not even being in Guyana, you're here today and you know so much, or at least you feel like you know so much, and you inspired by the country that you have a business that put the colors. So proud moment for all of us Guyanese. But tell us about Datz Deli. You started Datz Deli. You started with one deli.
Yeah, I started with one location. We
One
have
location.
a second location now, and we're working on our third. But Datz Deli all started because I've always had faith in what my father could do because I've seen how hard he worked my whole entire life. And I was just like, yo, dad, you got 6 kids, bro. And we need you more than
Right.
these people that you're slaving for every day need you. Because at
Right.
the end of the day, they really don't care about you. But my dad's just really bad at saving money. But he's the sauce. And, you know, I'm telling him, like, yo, you know everything. You could do everything. You're,
Right.
like, everyone loves your food. Everyone loves how you cook. Like, you could do it all. So he was just bad at saving money. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save my money. At 17 years old, I remember going to him. And I was like, Dad, I got $2,000. Let's go get a store. He laughed at me and he was just like, you can't do nothing with that. Like, what are you going to do with that? Like, and then that just really taught me, like, okay, so this is no money. $2,000 is nothing. So since then, I just started saving my money every day until 29 years old. And I found a store because I had got a store originally a year before inside the Coliseum. I was about to, inside the food market right there on the Ave across from the multiplex.
Right.
I was about to get a store there and stuff, and I had everything going, and I just had 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and that all ended up crashing out, and I lost it, and I wasn't gonna ever try again. Honestly, I gave up on the whole dream of a store,
Right.
and I was just about to start traveling, and then I met my girl, and I always talk about my dad and my family because I love my family. I've always been like that, and she tells me, she's like, you always talk about your dad and what your family could do. You should just give it a next try. You know, try it again. So I'm there looking every day for stores and stuff. And I finally see the store on Hollis. And I was like, you know what? Let me give it one more try. I invested $70,000 of my own money that I've been saving my whole life.
Since you were 17 years old.
Basically, yeah. And I invested that into the store. And it's like, you know, when you're at the horse race track for all my Kali people, because everyone love racing horses, and you see that one horse and you're like, that's the horse. I'm about to put it all on that horse. That was my dad. I was like, that's the horse. I'm putting it all on this horse, and let's see what happens. And I bet it all on him. And, you know, next thing you know, the store at first, you know, I realized why the lady sold it to me. It wasn't doing good at all. The business there was dead. We was barely making $200 a day. And it was really stressful for me and my dad because he's not working. I'm not working. My brother started coming to work with us. He's not working. So none of us is getting paid, and we're just in the store every day trying and pushing our dreams. And every day we see it growing, and we see the community loving us and happy that we took over the store compared to the old owner. And we got people eating saltfish and bake that never ate saltfish and bake because they smell the food. They're coming in for bacon, egg, and cheese, but we're selling only Caribbean food. We don't got bacon, egg, and cheese and all that. We're pushing the Caribbean culture. So they come in, we make them try saltfish and bake, and now every day we got people coming in the morning, saltfish and bake. That never ate it before, and then I just knew we needed something different though, because I got a deli in Queens and a Caribbean store. There's so many delis all over New York.
Right.
There's so many great Caribbean spots in New York already.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I needed something to stick out so people could come try this food and see how amazing it is. So every day I'm there trying to think of something. First I'm doing roti burritos. Then I'm doing like chopped cheeses on the cocoa bread with plantains and stuff like that. And just nothing was really like
Sticking, working.
like, yeah, it just wasn't working. It didn't put something into me to be like, yeah, this is it. But one night I was just making something for myself to eat. Me and my little sister was closing up the store, and I was gonna eat a beef patty with cheese, but my dad used all the cheese for the mac and cheese, and then he put all of the cheese in there. And I was like, I'm just putting some of the mac and cheese inside the beef patty and eat it because it got cheese in it. But when I cut it open, I don't know what told me this is it. I had to close it back really fast and was like, sis, come record this. This is what's gonna make us go viral right here. Like I literally had faith in it the first time I ever seen it. And that was just God, I feel like, in me telling me like, this is what you're gonna push right here.
Right.
And ever since then, our lives has changed. We end up all over the news, all over TV, all over social media. Our store has did so great compared to what it was doing. We end up opening the next store. We're in the process of opening up a third store. We went to Canada and did so many pop-ups. Went to California, did pop-ups. And there's so much more that can still be done. This is just the beginning. It's been 2 years. And it's crazy because all of this happening is just blows my mind. And you never understand the expression Godspeed until it's right in front of you. And it's just God doing his thing.
Doing his thing. Now, that evening, you and your sister, you're hungry and you're trying. What exactly did you put together? What is the mac patty? Tell us.
So the mac patty is a beef patty that you cut open and
Guyanese?
Yeah, no, it's a beef patty, Jamaican beef patty.
Beef.
Yeah. And then you could cut it open and you place, originally it was just macaroni and cheese inside a beef patty in a butter flop, not a cocoa bread, a butter flop, right?
Right.
And that was the original mac patty. And then we had an influx of people from just the original mac patty. And we had the lines just from the original mac patty, but the lines wasn't crazy down the block yet.
Right.
It was just like the store was getting crowded, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then one day I had this girl named Kendra. She came in, and if you look at our menu, the oxtail is named Kendra because when she came in, she was like, hey, can I get oxtail gravy on that? And I was like, yeah, I'm not the type of person that says, no, we can't do that. If you're coming to pay for something in our store, if you're paying, we'll do it. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like you go to some stores and they're like, no, we can't do that. We can't. Why not? But I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And as soon as I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that, the guy behind her was like, hey, can you do that to mine too? And I was like, yeah, sure. And originally, the mac patty was only like $6, $7. And then my mom was like, you got to charge him extra for the oxtail gravy. I was like, oh, shoot, we can make extra money. Just put oxtail gravy on something. So then the next day, I had a guy named Johnny Eats coming in to make a video. And I was like, yo, mom, we're about to do this on a whole different level. Like, I'm putting oxtail on it instead of just the mac and cheese, and then we're gonna put gravy and let's see what happens. When we made that video literally just blew up all over, and then it just hasn't stopped.
It hasn't stopped. Good evening to Rahana. She's watching from Mumbai. Imagine you having people watch you from Mumbai right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So you're telling me that you have a patty with some mac and cheese, it's Jamaican patty, mac and cheese, and then you started to put oxtail. And this is really, because this was that thing that you were looking for that was different.
Yeah, I needed
from whatever was out there.
Yeah, I needed something that was different because everybody has the same things. And I felt like everybody was tired of eating the same things. And I was just like, I need something different. And then when I made that for myself, it not only looked so good, at which people do is they eat with their eyes before you eat with your mouth.
Right.
So it looks so good, but not only that, it tastes amazing also. Yeah. And I was like, oh, nah, this is it. And now we've realized, it's such an amazing seller. We realized we wanted to be able to cater to everybody because, some people don't eat beef. Some people don't eat this.
Yeah.
Some people don't eat cheese. So now, you don't have to put mac and cheese in it. You put peas and rice. You don't have to get a beef patty. You get a veggie patty or a chicken patty. Yeah. You don't have to put oxtail. You can put jerk chicken, goat curry, chicken curry. And then that's the next thing. I'm so grateful for it because it's like, to have a store that sells curry and stuff like that, you know, usually you just reach out to Caribbean people, but we have all types of people from all over the world coming out to our store to try our food because, you know, we combined all the Caribbean food that we love to eat so much and made it into like a sandwich.
Yeah.
So now it looks more approachable, and now people see it and they're like, oh, I could try that. Let me try that. And they'll try the original, like an oxtail jerk chicken, something that's, you know, common, but then they'll love it so much they'll come back and they'll be like, hey, let me try to goat curry on it. Somebody that's never ate goat in their life, things like this in their life, and they're willing to try it now because you know it's more Americanized in a way, and they're more comfortable with it.
Right, and of course. And now you started 2 years ago in Hollis here, right? And I do remember visiting you when this whole thing went viral. And people were talking about you, and there were lines all over, you know, like around the block. And I remember visiting you, meeting with you. You were busy. You're not just someone who stands in your store and watch other people do it. You're hands on. You're there. You do everything.
Even like if I have a day off or I'm like I'm not supposed to be in the store and I'm doing other things. If I end up like people be like, yo, let's stop at the store real fast. I'm like, I can't stop at the store.
Because you know you're gonna end up.
I'm gonna end up there. I'm gonna end up trying to make patties. I'm gonna end up doing something.
Do you guys make your patty from scratch?
So at first we had my auntie doing it, but now we have a whole facility doing everything with our ingredients and everything. Because we moved so much, it was ridiculous for us to keep up with it.
Right.
So now we teamed up with a factory, and now they do everything for us, and
then everything is delivered fresh.
Yeah, everything is great.
Delivered fresh. And now not only are you working there all by yourself, right? You have mom with you, you have dad with you, you have your siblings with you as well. And they're all part of
the team. Yes. So that's the thing. Everybody, they may see my face a lot, but I'm just the face. Honestly, it's all my brothers and sisters and my mother and my father and my uncle. They're like, and my other amazing friends and employees that I do have. But they're really everything that runs this business. As I said earlier, like I said, like sometimes I'll be like, you know, I don't want to stop in the store because I'm gonna get stuck doing stuff. Now my little sister, you know, it's crazy. You walk her to school every morning and you see her grow up, and now she's running your store for you.
Wow.
And it's something crazy to see. My big brother, he runs the store in the city, and my little brother, he takes control of Hollis during the nighttime. And, you know, it's just a blessing to see all my little brothers and my big sisters and my family just coming together to work together to push this dream that I had from my father, you know?
Yeah.
And it's cool because it shows people that family can work together.
Yeah. And your story is one that truly touches a lot of people and inspire them, because your dad's dream became your dream, coming to this country, working hard and building and teaching your kids the importance of working hard and building, right? You saved your little bit of money that you had from 17 years old and never gave up. 29 years old, you started your first restaurant, right? Or your first deli. And today you have a second deli, and you're about to do a third deli, right?
Yeah.
I spoke to you today and you said to me, Shameeza, my goal is to make sure every one of my siblings have their own restaurant or deli, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And you're so concerned about making sure that they're okay in life. Who looks out for Joshua though? Because it seems like if you've got everybody covered, right? You're working hard to make sure mom's okay, dad's okay, siblings are okay. Who watches out for Joshua?
You know, they all take care of me in their own way. Everybody watches out for me in their own way. But honestly, I just know I had my head on my shoulders from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, you know, let me do what I got to do and show everybody what we could do.
Yeah.
And now everybody got their shoulders on, their head on their shoulders. And little by little, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I know as time goes, everybody will keep learning and keep growing. And at the end of the day, I know soon I'm not going to have to worry about nothing. You know, I'm going to have all my brothers with a store. I'm going to be good. I'm being on an island somewhere chilling. And, you know, I know that's why I do it for family, you know, because at the end of the day, you could fight with a friend. You could end terms with a friend. But me, I know some people will end terms with their sisters and brothers, but I'm never going nowhere from none of my brothers and sisters or my mother and father. You know, we could go through the most, but we're always going to be there to stick it out. We already went through hell, and now we're
Right.
back. You
Now
know?
you're back. Yeah. My daughter is asking. She says, "Shout out to Shanti Lakshmi." Is it Shanti?
Yeah, Shanti's my cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the store and she said that she was very sweet and helpful. Now, when you spoke earlier about your dad, you said your dad was not able to, he was not good at with monies.
Yeah.
Those your words? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you make sure? Because it's one thing to run a business and have the right food, but how do you make sure that everyone is on the same page when it comes to the finances?
See, that's the thing. A family business, you never know what's happening. You never know what's going to really go on.
Yeah.
And every day it's learning. Every day it's figuring out stuff. Every day it's making sure things are getting better instead of worse.
Yeah.
And I try to control everything when it comes to the finances because I know I'm very strict with money. I'll
Mhm.
go all day, not eat nothing, wait until I walk to my store because I'm not driving, because I'm not wasting money on gas. I don't care for a car. I'm a Jew. Like I love making sure like and it's in a good terms though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love being frugal. And
Right.
they are some of the most frugal people in this world. People could take notes, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I
Absolutely.
took notes my whole life, and I want to be just like them and make sure my family's good, just like how they make sure their family's good. And that's why being frugal is one of the most important things in my life. Like,
I mean, you did save, was it 90,000 or
I,
something?
to open my store, it took me like altogether like 90,000, but I had way more saved than that. That's
It
what just
took
took to
just
open my
to
store.
open from 17 guys. So if you're listening to this, you could be 40, you could be 50. If he can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, no,
All right.
anything is possible. Like
Anything is
that's one thing I
possible.
try to preach to everybody now. You know, I come from really nothing. My mother and father didn't give me anything, and I went out and got it. That's one thing a lot of people's waiting for someone to come give you something. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. You gotta understand that no one's coming to save you. You could have the most greatest idea in the world, but if you're not saving your money, then what are you going to do with it? You don't want to go get a loan from the bank. You don't want to ask somebody for the money because then you owe somebody. And honestly, it's their money that made your dreams come true. It feels so much better getting it by yourself. That's something my cousin told me right before I got the store because I was going to go 50-50 with somebody. And my cousin's like, cuz you got the money, just do it by yourself. And I'm like, yeah, but what happens if it fails? He's like, yeah, but what happens if it succeeds, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're right.
And
Like,
I think that is key. A lot of people wonder and they always question, what if it fails? What if things don't work out? A lot of people don't say, but what if it does?
yeah.
Here you are today.
And that's the thing. I never want to be on my deathbed with a what if. That's
Yeah.
one thing I never want to do. Anything I'm thinking about, I'm going to get it done because I never want to think about what if. And
Mhm.
in life, I've realized, because I used to be like this my whole life, that we're our biggest enemies.
Mhm.
We doubt ourselves so much and we stop ourselves from doing things all the time. And you never know what that thing that in your mind can happen and create. Like, look at this, you know, there's so much of my friends tell me, why are you buying a deli, bro? There's so much deli. Like, that's mad dumb. Look at me now, you know.
Yeah.
My sister, I love you, Jenny, love you to death. But when we first made the mac patty, even my mom,
Yeah.
Josh, who's gonna buy a beef patty with macaroni and cheese?
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know. But just believe in yourself. Don't let nobody stop you from what you believe in, because only you can see your own visions, you know.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I
Absolutely.
love to preach to people now.
All right, we're gonna play a little game with you. All right, I'm gonna get out of the whole, not think too much. Let's just play a little game, relax. So we have our little thing right here that we're gonna use
Okay,
to play
we
this.
gotta finish the thing
Yeah.
before that.
So I'm gonna turn this over after I ask that first question, right?
Okay.
6 questions in 60 seconds, right? So first question, do you prefer to host an event or cook for the event?
Now it's kind of weird. I like to do both in a way. It depends on who it is. If it's somebody I really don't know, I'd rather just cook. But if it's somebody I know, I like to host, make my patties in front of them because now I have a whole thing to do it. You know.
Got it. Your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit would have to be probably banana,
Banana. Jerk chicken or chicken curry?
chicken curry,
Which is more important to you, being rich or being popular?
being rich,
Name of a country that begins with the letter J.
Jamaica.
You were gonna say that. Are you in person type of person, or you prefer to do Zoom for meetings?
For meetings, Zoom probably,
Bollywood or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Got it. All right. Sophia says, Joshua, continue being a humble person. You're such an inspiration to all Guyanese and Caribbean people. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, Sophia.
Um, I think it's important for us to always, remember where we came from. And for you, your dad never let you forget that,
Yeah,
right? I'm
no.
sure mom was there too, never ever letting you forget where they came from. And it's important. It's part of who you are. And I'm just so proud of you listening to you speak about how you control the money because anyone can open a business, get some money, open a business, but if you don't manage that business, the finances, well, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, managing your money is one of the most important
And
things.
I like the fact that you realize that there's so many delis, there's so many restaurants and roti shops, and you had to stand out. I think those are all key things to remember when you want to start a business. People see a lot of successful business and they look at it and they think, oh my God, but there are things that people do differently or they add and they're consistent with that the others that fail don't do it. Most business within the first 2 years they fail.
Yeah.
You on the other hand has been able to have run a successful business. It's gotten the attention of many people in media. You've been able to start a second one and about to do a third one. So congratulations. I know you're probably, if that was, you were 29 when you started, and that was two
Yeah,
years
I'm
ago. You're
32, yeah.
32 now.
Oh.
I'm not gonna, my son, if he's watching, is gonna be upset, but my son is 31. So I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And I hope that you continue to live your dream. Now, Joshua, after all of this, you start your third one. Are you ever going to take a break? Are you going to go on a vacation? Are you going to do something?
Yeah, so once I know all my brothers and sisters is good,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just start traveling the world. I really want to see the world. I want to see other countries. I want to see how other people live. I want to see, what else is out there. We all grow up, especially in New York, we grow up on our blocks and in our neighborhoods, and we think this is it. This is all. In New York, we're so comfortable with just staying in our borough. Going to Brooklyn, going to the city is a headache
Mhm.
for us. That's
Right.
crazy when you think about it. And I used to be just like that. I used to be like, dang, that's mad far. It's only an hour away.
Mhm.
And we're so close-minded with that. But there's a big world out there. There's so much to see. And I know that's what I want to do once, I know everybody's good.
What country? Is there a specific country?
I need to go
that
to Egypt first. I don't know why it's just
Egypt.
calling me. Yeah.
It's calling
It's been
you.
calling me since I was young.
Okay. Well, I hope that very soon you're able to get on a plane and go to
No,
Egypt.
soon it will happen.
And you're able to accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish. Can we say hi to your girlfriend, the one who gave you the courage?
I don't know if you want to call anything.
You want to say hi to everyone?
She just came straight from work with me and came over here.
It's a judge-free zone. We're not going to judge you. But I'm sure she's a huge reason. She believes in you. She's there by your
Yeah,
side.
that's one of the a lot of people sometimes, every couple has fights and arguments, but the one reason I know I stick with my woman is because at the end of the day, not a lot of women could change you and make you want to become a better man.
Yeah.
And that's one thing my girl came into my life and she did. She made me want to become a better person and want to do better for my life. And not only did she do that, before I met her, I never believed in myself. And then she believed in me more than I believed in myself.
How long have you guys
And
been together?
we've known each other for like 7 years, but we've only been together 3 years.
Wow.
But she was the first person to believe in me and tell me all the things I could do and tell me how amazing she think I would be. And that putting all those batteries in my back made me actually believe in myself. And now I really feel like I could do anything in the world because of what she's first seen,
Yeah, absolutely. I think the family just joined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they just Teresa's, Sunita's your mom.
Yeah, Sunita's
Yeah,
mom.
they're all here. I think they probably want to see you. um, Josh, if there is a person out there that's watching you right now, young, old, and they don't know how to accomplish or to go out there and start to live their best life or to get that dream that you just accomplished, What is your advice to them?
The biggest thing is you gotta learn first how to live below your needs. You gotta learn how to understand that if you make $100 in the day, then you're only gonna keep 20. You're only gonna use 20 and put 70 away. You gotta save your money. Saving your money is the most important thing in this world, because especially if you come from where I come from and you don't have nobody to be like, hey, can I get some money to go do this? You have to save your money. So when you get your big idea that comes to you, you're ready to jump on it. And you could do that. Anybody could do it. It's all about saving. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you save. Okay, so make sure if you have any dreams in life, no matter what you come from, no matter what happens, save your money. And I promise you, you'll be able to do anything you want to do. As people that went to college and did so much school and they're working for somebody that saved their money.
Yeah, I agree with you. And guys, if you just joined us and you haven't seen the entire interview, I encourage you to go back and watch it, share it with someone, because there's someone out there who will listen to Josh and will begin to live their best life. All right, Josh,
so
I
much for
thank you.
having me.
You ready? Come on over and say hi. All right, guys. Justine, isn't she beautiful? Look at her.
I know you guys are expecting probably a brown girl, but she's Puerto Rican. But you know that she's the one that pushed me to become a better person and do better with my life and stick with my family and believe in everything we could do. And now here Datz Deli is, and I just posted a picture the other day and I was like, imagine these two people never met. Datz Deli would never have been here.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. And
Thank you.
I hope I get invited to
You will.
special party one day.
When it comes.
I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be here this evening. You've heard from a Minister of Public Works, Minister Deodat Indar this evening, and you heard from Joshua Dat from Datz Deli. Guys, I continue to live your best life, encourage you to live your best life. Do whatever it takes to be healthy, to be you, and to continue to prosper in everything that you do. Until next time, I am your host, Shameeza Ali, and this is Get Real with Shameeza. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.